So many spiritual traditions describe the higher self as a intellectual higher being. It's a version of ourselves that has no ego, and it uses its logic and wisdom to communicate ideas and messages with us. And there are many ways that you can actually tap into this, and in this video I'm going to describe why your higher self is the only guru you need, and you must stop seeking external validation for truth. Hello everybody, and welcome back to this channel. My name is Christina, and I help empower people on their spiritual and healing journey so they can have a more fulfilling and purposeful driven life. Don't forget to do all of those wonderful things like subscribe, hit the bell notification so you're notified of when I post a video, because it's my mission to share my message and to support people just like you. So now I've said all that, let's get on with the video. The higher self is kind of an oversoul version of ourselves. It's attached to us. It's a version of ourselves that it's a higher being. The higher self is kind of described as your real self, your real, true, divine self. That is sending you messages all the time, sending you ideas and thoughts, sometimes that you just randomly come up with. And the New Age spiritual community describes this information that we receive as a download. You may have heard of this term, and it's like you get downloaded this information through, and this can be from your guides or your higher self. And sometimes the messages can come through as like synchronicities. Synchronicities are, it seems like coincidental events that may happen, that you follow that synchronization because it's actually a message for you to follow. And often number synchronicities are the main one that the higher realms and the frequencies of God and your higher self will communicate through number synchronicities. And these are repeated numbers where you see 11111, like 333. You might have your own particular unique number that you see, and mine is 844 that I see quite a lot, or you might see 1212, or whatever it is. And some people follow that guidance and whatever the number shows up. And so this is the way our higher selves can communicate with us. And with traditional spirituality and ways of thinking, we turn to a guru. You would have a teacher, and you would seek somebody else to give you validation, give you truth, or tell you how to be spiritual, tell you what to do. And that time is now over, and we're now entering a new era. And the new era is where we are now beginning to go within instead of seeking external validation, seeking somebody to tell us what to do, to come and save us. And this new era of spirituality, people are realizing now they have to go within, because as within, so without. And to truly know yourself, to know thyself, you have to go within. And it's also now people are understanding what truth means. So that means you have to come back to truth, to the self, to yourself, what truth means for you as well. So this means you are seeking truth from your higher self rather than somebody external to you. And this is not to say you don't need somebody to guide you or to help you, because we can all feel stuck in life, especially spiritually sometimes. And so this is just a reminder that it's okay to have maybe a mentor or a guide, but it's not about seeking somebody to come and save you, to come and give you the answers. It's about taking that responsibility and seeing that everything you need is within. And when you realize that, you stop looking outside of you And I have just mentioned a little bit what it means when we are constantly looking for somebody to come and fix us, looking for somebody to make us better, tell us what to do or how to act. What this is saying that you need somebody to come and save you, which means you are in victimhood. This is victimhood, when we are seeking for somebody to come and help us and tell us what to do. And so when we are in victimhood, this is just a disempowering. People just do not empower themselves. They don't realize that when they have everything they need within, and their only guru they really need is their higher self. It's about connecting to the higher self in order to seek your answers. And so this means when you are in victimhood, you are in your ego. Your ego is looking for somebody to come and save you. And I'm sorry to tell you, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody's coming to save us as a collective. Jesus is not coming to save us. Like, I may get backlash about that. People believe he's going to come back and save us. No ET is going to land and come and save us. The Galactic Federation is not going to come and save us. We have to take radical responsibility and an ownership and realize that all our truth comes from our higher self. The Galactic Federation is just not going to save us. No politician is going to save us, because this is still victim consciousness. We have to go within, take radical responsibility, and realize the only truth we need is the truth from our higher self. And so when we begin to do that, we begin to shift ourselves from our ego consciousness, the duality, and come back to yourself, to your higher self, and seek the truth from within. So then this means we are not coming from a lower state of consciousness. We begin to empower ourselves, like mentally and also spiritually too. So now we are in the time of taking ownership. We're taking ownership of our wounds. We're taking ownership of our truth. We're taking ownership of how we want to show up in the world. We want to connect to higher states of consciousness now. People in the world are now beginning to wake up. We are waking up collectively. So now we are taking responsibility. So if you are still attached to an idea, an outcome, this is ego, which the ego wants to create separateness. It wants to create illusions. It wants you to feel safe. It wants you to play victim. It wants you to blame. And so this means if you are in this, you are likely a victim, and maybe and you're waiting for somebody to come and save you, come and fix your problems. Like, I will not be your savior. I cannot fix you. All I can do is be the mirror for you. I will be your mirror and reflect back to you your wounds that you need to heal. Okay, so this means we have to go within and seek the answers from within, because if we are constantly seeking spiritual teachers, that's their own version of truth, and it may not be what your higher self is actually desperate for you to hear. The only person you must seek is your higher self, which is you, your truth, and not seeing and not constantly listening to spiritual teachers. Like, you might even think that for me, like, don't listen to me. But I just want to let you know that the only guru you really need is yourself, because you will get those answers. And it's about getting rid of the distractions, because our world is so filled with distractions that we are not able to get still and experience the present moment in order for our higher selves to connect with us. Because there are ways you can connect to your higher self and ask questions and get responses, but you have to work on that and get rid of the noise and the distractions. And a book that I really do recommend you getting is Waking Up in 5D. At the beginning of the book, I believe it talks about connecting to your higher self and some practices you can do to really work on that muscle, that connection. And I'll be honest, I've only read about half of that book, because I sometimes, if it's not resonating at that moment, or I feel like I'm not picking it up, it's probably maybe I'm not on a vibrational match with the material yet, and I go back to it much later, maybe even a month later or years later, and all of a sudden it's in alignment, it makes sense, because I've done more evolving and my consciousness is at a state where I'm able to understand the material more. So I hope this video has been really helpful for you. If you are looking to create more stillness, more balance, and come back into presence in order to reduce your distractions so you are able to communicate more with your higher self and the divine, I recommend checking out this video next, where I talk about experiencing stillness and going from doing to being. So with that being said, I will see you in that video. Much love.